Hey guys, Luke06 here, and in today's video, I'll be explaining every transformation and form that Naruto has had access to over the events of the series. Over the course of the series, Naruto has gained access to many forms and transformations as the story has progressed, each form being stronger than the last. This video will be explaining these forms, how Naruto first gained access to them, what they provide and how they're used. Timestamps can be found in the description if there's any forms you want to skip to. So, with all that out of the way, let's talk about Naruto's forms.
さあ行こうぜ
けい
Naruto, from the day he was born, was a Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox, better known as Kurama. Being a Jinchuriki, Naruto throughout the series was shown to have been able to tap into portions of Kurama's chakra. Originally through Kurama leaking amounts of his chakra out of Naruto's seal in an attempt to gradually weaken it. But, as the story progressed and their relationship improved, Kurama willingly provided Naruto with as much chakra as he needed. When Kurama leaked his chakra to weaken Naruto's seal, this led to Naruto awakening the initial version, version 1 and version 2 Tailed Beast forms. These are exclusive to all Jinchuriki and not just Naruto. The initial form, as its name suggests, is the first form of a Jinchuriki tapping into their Tailed Beast chakra. In Naruto's case, he taps into a very small amount of Kurama's chakra and sees a boost to all of his physical stats and his chakra-based techniques, which also include things like an increased healing rate. In this state, Naruto will take on some of Kurama's features, such as with his facial markings resembling whiskers, and his eyes turning red with vertical irises. The next step up from this is the version 1 cloak. The version 1 cloak will manifest a red cloak of Kurama's chakra outside of Naruto, with a corresponding amount of tails depending on how much chakra is used. This cloak sees a further buff in Naruto's physical stats and chakra techniques, becoming significantly more powerful. Alongside this, Naruto will also continue to take on more of Kurama's features. In the version 1 state, Naruto is able to use the chakra cloak to manifest arms and claws from Kurama's chakra. When Naruto had first awakened this, outside of Kurama's cooperation, Naruto would become more animalistic and slowly lose his rational thinking. Not only that, but the more chakra used in the cloaks, the more pain it would cause Naruto. However, this is no longer the case after their partnership. As higher and higher amounts of Tailed Beast chakra is released, a Jinchuriki will eventually reach the version 2 Tailed Beast form. In this version, the Tailed Beast chakra will appear more thick and dark than the version 1 state, and the chakra will completely envelop the Jinchuriki, to an extent it looks like they are partially transformed. Naruto will take on a beastly appearance, where he himself is not recognizable. Similarly to the version 1 state, the version 2 cloak, when used outside of Kurama's cooperation, would injure Naruto further and reduce his rational thinking to basically nothing. This caused him to often lash out at anybody around him, be it friend or foe. The version 2 cloak expands further on all of the abilities of the previous forms, seeing an increase in stats. The Jinchuriki also gains access to the Tailed Beast ball, which is an explosive mixture of positive and negative chakra shot out of the mouth of the Tailed Beast that causes massive amounts of destructive damage. Moving on to the forms that are exclusive to the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, and more so Naruto himself, are his KCM1 and KCM2 forms. These stand for Kurama Chakra Mode, which are forms that use large amounts, if not all of Kurama's chakra, that manifest the cloak around Naruto. KCM1 was the first instance of these forms used in the series. In KCM1, Naruto would take a large portion of Kurama's chakra by force, and when he used this form he would in a sense shelf his own chakra, meaning that he couldn't use it for long periods due to the risk of Kurama draining all of his chakra. KCM2 came after, which was the form used when Naruto and Kurama partnered together, leaving Naruto with unrestricted access to all of Kurama's chakra. This also removed the risk of Naruto's chakra being drained, which meant that the potential of KCM2 was much larger and he could stay in it for longer. Naruto's KCM forms have a different appearance than his prior Jinchuriki forms. His KCM forms coat Naruto in a yellow chakra reminiscent of flames, with several lines, swells and Magatama markings over his body. The difference between his KCM 1 and 2 forms in appearance is that in KCM 2, his black markings become more prominent and expansive across his body. He also appears to gain what looks like an actual cloak of chakra around him. However, this cloak is only present when Naruto entered this form with only the yang half of Kurama's power. In terms of the abilities of Naruto's KCM forms, they provide a massive increase in stats such as strength, speed and durability. These are to a much greater extent than his prior Jinchuriki forms. As to be expected, KCM2 is a bigger increase than KCM1, however most of their abilities themselves are basically the same. Just like his version 1 and 2 forms, Naruto can still produce chakra arms from his body, however these are yellow instead of red. One of the major benefits that Naruto had upon first gaining his KCM forms is that he was no longer under the mental influence of Kurama. Naruto's rational thinking remains and he stays in complete control of his actions. KCM forms also give off high amounts of life energy, being able to mature wooden structures into trees in a matter of moments. Moving on to another one of Naruto's forms that he had access to after his partnership with Kurama is his partial and full Tailed Beast mode. Tailed Beast mode is where the Jinchuriki, or in this case Naruto himself, transforms into his Tailed Beast. In Tailed Beast mode for Naruto, it's a bit different than that of the other Jinchurikis. For Naruto, instead of becoming Kurama, he creates an avatar of him made from Kurama's chakra that strongly resembles his KCM2 form in design. This chakra takes on the form of Kurama made from translucent yellow chakra with black markings and design patterns across the body. Naruto himself can choose what part of the avatar to manifest, not needing a full transformation at all times. The avatar acts as both a highly offensive and defensive form. With Naruto suspended within the avatar's head, he becomes shielded from oncoming attacks. He can also bring other people into the avatar, using Kurama's chakra to heal or replenish them. In this form, Naruto also has full access to the Tailed Beast ball, being able to make ones of different sizes and damage as well as shape. This being a highly offensive and destructive technique. Kurama himself is also able to talk through this avatar and is able to control it. Finally, the last and by far the most powerful of all of the forms Naruto gains being the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki is Baryon mode. Baryon mode is, in essence, what Kurama describes as a process that is similar to nuclear fusion. Naruto and Kurama's chakra are consumed as raw materials to produce a new, stronger type of energy. As a result, Baryon mode massively surpasses all the previous forms and physical stats, even his KCM2 Sage of Six Paths mode. This, however, is a one-time use, as after the form is used once, it causes the death of Kurama and the removal of the Tailed Beast from its Jinchuriki, or in this case, Naruto himself. This means that after its initial use against Ishiki, Naruto lost all access to his Tailed Beast chakra and forms. In appearance, Baryon mode is different than any of his previous Jinchuriki forms, not necessarily being a cloak. In Baryon mode, Naruto gains what looks like to be a cape of thick, red chakra resembling nine tails. Along with this, he gains Kurama's signature red slit pupils and irises, and his hair becomes more spiky. His facial markings also become more defined, as well as some being present around the eyes stretching up to his head. Sage mode is a form first learned by Naruto in the Pains of Sword arc and is one of his most used forms. Sage mode is the intake of nature energy into a person, which is blended in with their own chakra to create Senjutsu chakra. This Senjutsu chakra greatly amplifies the abilities of the user, including all of their physical stats and chakra-based techniques. Once in Sage mode, the defining characteristics of the form for Naruto is the yellow eyes with horizontal, toad-like pupils. Along with this, he is also seen with an orange pigment on the outside of his eyes. The reason behind his toad-like appearance is due to him being taught by the toads that reside in Mount Myoboku. In Sage mode, all of Naruto's physical abilities are greatly buffed, which include strength, speed, and durability. His perception levels also increase substantially, with him being able to sense chakra, be it a person or attack, without needing to see it. Using the nature energy around him, Naruto can extend the range of his physical attacks as if it was an extension of himself. This gives him the ability to strike somebody without needing to make direct contact. Naruto has often been seen using this form to amplify his abilities, usually using it to increase the size and damage of his Rasengans. Naruto is capable of using his Toad Sage mode alongside his Jinchuriki forms, as seen when he used it accidentally in his initial Jinchuriki form, then intentionally with his KCM2 form. In his KCM2 form, Naruto was able to mix his Senjutsu chakra with the chakra cloak, which massively increased his power. This allowed him to stand against 10 Tails Obito and be able to damage him. Later in the story, Naruto was gifted a transformation that acted as an advanced form of Sage mode by Hagoromo Otsutsuki. This was called Six Path Sage mode, which pretty much acted as a buffed version of ordinary Sage mode enhanced with Six Paths chakra. This form was used in conjunction with his KCM2 form, creating his Sage of Six Paths form. Sage of Six Paths Naruto had access to enhanced Sage mode, as well as every nature release, 3 Kekkei Genkai, and chakra from all of the Tail Beasts. Temporarily, Naruto would have access to Six Paths Yang chakra to perform the Six Paths Planetary Devastation to seal away Kaguya. He also gained True Secret Orbs and the ability to fly. Yet again, this form has a different design than his KCM2 form, and he loses the pigment around his eyes he would usually have in Toad Sage mode. This would increase Naruto's stats even further, allowing him to match up against 10 Tails Madara, and later in Boruto, powerful Otsutsuki. Naruto, however, would be seen without True Secret Orbs after the events of Shippuden. While not exactly known why, it's either he didn't choose to use them or he doesn't have them anymore. And finally, his Ashura Kurama mode. During his fight with Sasuke, Naruto was shown to be able to make shadow clones of Kurama's avatar and combine it into one. This created an avatar of Kurama with 2 extra faces and 4 extra arms. He was able to perform his strongest attack, his 6 paths, Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken with this. And that sums up all of Naruto's forms in the series. If there's anything I may have missed, feel free to leave it down in the comments and I'll be sure to pin it if I see any. Now, just briefly, I wanted to apologise basically for the month-long gap I've taken since my last video. And I will say it will not be happening again and I'll be sticking to a video weekly or once every 2 weeks at latest. I don't intend to be one of those YouTubers who drop a video once a month and then just disappear on you guys. I do have some videos in the works that I'll be releasing soon. And that's all from me, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good week.